Hi there everyone. So today is the video for 10/21 or Wednesday, October 21st. So all we're doing today is I will be going over a lesson today. But first I would like to go over our course schedule. So here's our course schedule for today, which is to continue the CTA reading work and the drafting. And you can find the link to the lesson I'll be going over right in our course schedule. But I will also show you where you can find it on our Blackboard page. It will be present under Lessons and under the CTA reading work and drafting. So that is the lesson I am going over in this video today, and that is what you should continue doing over the weekend. The only homework that we have over the weekend is continue drafting and finish up the reading work for the CTA. So what we're doing is finding similarities and differences between the texts or the sources that you choose under whatever topic cluster you choose. Now, this can be done several different ways through pre-writing, such as making lists comparing the different sources, a graphic organizer like a Venn diagram or a chart, and that has been discussed very much in length previously in our Norton Field Guide. So if you need a sort of review of that, you can always find it in the Norton Field Guide. But considering the previous lessons from in class, it's important to compare each source in terms of the main argument, the supporting details, and the author's usage of logos, ethos, and pathos. Now you can also check out this link that I have provided to a handout from the UNC Writing Center that helps with structure and pre-writing methods for the paper. Now this is a handout on comparing and contrasting, and it's very helpful to be looking at in terms of what Venn diagrams are, how to sort of compare things if you want to pre-rate that way. And it also talks about how to organize your paper. So that can be done two different ways that we have also discussed in the Norton Field Guide, and that is also part of this week's homework, which is the discussion board that I talked about on Monday that is due today by midnight. So you can organize this paper different ways. So you can organize it subject by subject and also point by point. So anyway, moving on from that, I also have a slide on reading strategies and outlines. Now the Norton Field Guide has several different strategies on pre-writing, drafting, and organizing outlines. And reviewing these chapters may be helpful to starting the CTA. And here's also a link I have provided with reviewing those academic reading strategies. I provided another link to a handout from UNC Writing Center that talks about academic writing strategies, if you would like a little review on that. But you can also check out the chapter on outlining in chapter 29, generating ideas and text from our Norton Field Guide textbook. So anyways, in finding similarities, what you want to be looking at between the sources is, are the claims or reasons similar? Are there similar values being talked about? Do they have similar audiences? Do they use similar experts or sources? And are the dates or publication venues similar? Now, in terms of differences, what you want to be looking at or considering is, are the claims or reasons different? Are the audiences different? Do you think there are different values being represented? Do similar authors include enough evidence and do others not? Are some authors' tones, style, or word usage different than others? Do some authors offer solutions while others do not? Do some authors give enough reasons while others do not? Do some authors focus on one aspect of the issues and others focus on different ones? You also want to consider their ethos or their credibility. Do some authors have higher ethos than others? Do you think some authors are more informed on the issues than others? Are they focused on different things and are their solutions to the issue different? And this is the slide that you should be quite familiar with. This is the same slide that we used the other day for drafting or invention. And hopefully everyone is sort of at the points where they are starting to draft topic sentences and adding supporting details and quotation sandwiches. So hopefully everyone should be at that point by the end of this weekend after working on it. So anyway, what I did in this video is I made a sort of sample way of pre-writing. So what I did is that I took the sources from the topic cluster of abortion and I sort of compared and contrast them. So this is just a mini list, keep in mind, and very much still a work in progress. But what I did is I sat down and sort of just started drafting some differences and similarities. So what I did is for differences, I said that the video My Abortion Story is told in a narrative style driven personal account of a woman experiencing an abortion and the reasons behind it. Therefore, the pathos or emotional appeal is greater than the other two sources, most likely, because it's more personal in nature. What I did was talk about the article by Rachel Jones, which is a medical study, and it utilizes statistics to illustrate that women with prior abortions had them performed because they were not financially stable enough and did not have reliable medical care. This is a way that the medical study utilizes logos or scientific facts to build their case, and that is really the nature of a scientific study, is that there's lots of logos or statistics or facts. Now, what I said for differences in terms of McCamen's article was that it was informative and a news article. So McCamen's article discussed conflicts between Planned Parenthood, abortion clinics, and the closure of abortion clinics. Now, in terms of similarities, I said that all three sources sort of utilize a claim that women that have little access to education or reliable medical care often lean towards getting an abortion than other women might. They may not be able to fully support a child on their own, maybe because of financial issues or few opportunities at higher education or other influencing factors. I think that came up quite a bit. Now, I talked quite a bit about the video. So, the video from My Abortion Story from BBC News relies quite a bit on being relatable and on emotional appeal. The article by McCaman is a bit more neutral on the side. However, there is still an emotional appeal component within those two sources. Now, all three sources are concerned about similar values and concerns, such as a woman being able to receive reliable medical care, a woman being able to support a child on their own, and perhaps a link to financial instability and few opportunities at higher education. Now, these observations are just my own. They are also a bit personal in nature. So just keep in mind this is an example, but at least you can get an sort of example of what it's like to sort of compare and contrast or find those differences and similarities between those three sources. And of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I will, of course, respect whatever opinion you hold dear. And keep in mind that these are just my own personal observations when looking at these sources. And I figured it would be helpful to at least provide an example. I always want to at least try to provide some of my own examples because I am always willing to provide examples to help out students. So this is an invention of a sample thesis statement and intro. Keep in mind this slide is not perfect. I'm still kind of editing it. Still a work in progress, but if I had to sit down and write a rough draft today and start drafting the intro for our CTA, this is what my intro would look like. And keep in mind, again, this paper is very much personal in nature, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion, of course. But this is the sort of sample thesis statement that I kind of came up with. I kind of just did it in about 45 minutes and kind of sat down and thought about this assignment. So I will go ahead and read it. And keep in mind, your introduction might look different. That is fine. But the main point and concern that I have is making sure that students talk about all three sources within their introduction and then make it a thesis statement. And keep in mind, the thesis statement might come at the end of your intro paragraph. Now, I kind of have it in the middle of my paragraph, and I will show you why I did that. But anyway, I will just go ahead, dive in, and kind of read it. So, in the video, My Abortion Story, published by BBC News, a woman tells a personal story about why she received an abortion and what it was like. And what I do from here is compare those sources a bit further. So I use a transitional phrase. So I go on to say, on the other hand, the article Fate of the Last Clinic Hearing tells the reader about conflicts arising between organizations like Planned Parenthood and the Missouri Health Department, caused an abortion clinic to be shut down. And then I go on to say, lastly, the article which abortion patients have had a prior abortion is a scientific study that deduced educational, work, and financial factors may influence the choice of women that receive an abortion and those that don't. So then I have my thesis statement here. I have come to the conclusion that I agree with the video, My Abortion Story, and its main message that women have a right to choose what happens to their bodies because it affects not only their bodies but also their lives. So then I also go on to talk about the medical study, which is the second source within the abortion topic cluster. So the medical study's conclusions influenced my decision on this topic because the main findings are that women with few opportunities and a decent education and low financial stability are not easily able to support a child on their own because of these difficulties and other influencing factors. Lastly, the article Fate of the Last Clinic Hearing and the video My Abortion Study made me arrive at this argument because after hearing a woman's own personal account, it has led me to believe that a lot of negative social stigma and shame surrounds abortion, and it's often not talked about enough, even though the topic itself is very impactful on society itself. Now, keep in mind, I know this is not perfect, but at least it's sort of a start and sort of a way for me to show you how to go from pre-writing into sort of writing the intro and thesis statement. So this is just a sort of review of the topic clusters you can choose from, which can be found in the paper guidelines that I went over last week. So here's the first topic that you can choose from, which is abortion, and that those were the sources that I was looking at. So you can find all the sources right here in these slides if you would like, if you need to find them kind of quickly. Now, the second option, if you would like, you can also choose the topic of COVID-19. But if you would like, keep in mind you do have to use all three sources for whatever topic cluster you choose. And of course, the third option is social media. Now, I am aware that some of these are videos, so the best way to go about sort of taking notes on videos is to watch the video and take notes as you're watching the video. Just like how you take notes on articles and you have annotations. So anyway, that is it for today. I hope you all have a great day and a wonderful weekend. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or you can stop in during my office hours on Friday. I have office hours on Fridays from 3 to 5. And if you would like an appointment, you can just send me an email and I will make an appointment for you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.